Hello. So today we're going to talk about Flexbox, and I'm going to build an example right here for you, and then you can build the homework using index and style. So I'm going to say, so I have a file called example.html. Because it's .html, it recognizes that it's an HTML file, so I can do exclamation point. If I type that and hit tab, it'll give me the boilerplate. So I'm going to call this my Flexbox demo. And if I save that, you can see that that changes the tab. Maybe refresh. There we go, Flexbox demo. And here's my body. So I can say, hi there, and just save some text. It'll show up here. The body is everything from this corner to this corner. So there is, okay, first I want to link my style sheet. So I'm going to say link and then tab, and that's going to fill in link, relationship, style sheet, href, which is the hyperlink reference. And I'm going to, for me, I'm going to point to example-style.css. So that's that file right here. I also put this plain style.css. There's also another file in here that I want you to connect to. And first I'm going to just make, I'm just going to have an H1 that says, I love kittens. And then, and then I'm going to have a main section. And then I'll just put a paragraph. Here's a cool trick. If you type in lorem and then with no space and then some numbers, it will give you 20 words in lorem ipsum text. So here's our site. Now I'm linking to my style sheet. If I go into it, let me close these files so I don't get confused. Okay, there's my example. So if I say main should have a background color of aquamarine. If we look at our page, oh, that's main, yeah. But see how there's like a margin, even though we didn't give it a margin? There's all this like HTML stuff going on in here. So wherever you see user agent style sheet, this is like default HTML style. We don't want any of it. We want our own style. So there is a something called Meyer Reset. And you can find it on the web. And you can just copy this code. So I just came in here and just copied all. Well, not all. I just copied from here to the top or bottom. Shift clicking is good. Okay, so I just copied that. And that's what's in this file, this Meyer Reset. So what it does is it clears stuff out. It clears out all these different things and says, give them no margin, no padding, no border, whatever font size. And so it clears stuff out. So let's add it to ours and we'll kind of see the difference. So you want to add it before your own styles because you want your styles to override it. Everything is loaded in order. So this is called Meyer Reset.css. So now let's take a look at our site. Now these are flush. I have to, I have now the responsibility of giving font sizes to all this stuff. I'm going to pause actually and do a little bit of formatting, and then I'll show you what I did. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So I have made a few changes. So I put a bunch of kittens on the site, and they're just in a bunch of divs right now. So let's look at the HTML. So we've got, I put the H1 in a header because I want to make these less than 100% across the page. So I'm going to do that for header and main. And then here's my section, and I called it gallery, and that's where I'm going to use Flexbox. Flexbox works on the immediate children. So it'll work on the divs and not the image. And so that means I can actually put a paragraph in here. This kitten is almost the best. I'll just do a couple real quick. This kitten is quite possibly possibly the best. Okay, good enough. So just to show that these divs are the only ones being affected by this Flexbox business. Okay, what else have I done? I think that's it. Just a bunch of divs. They're inside. I just used a section tag, which is exactly the same as div. It's called different, so it's easier to read the code. So I can kind of tell where this gallery stops because it's the closing section tag. All right, and then in my style, I added a font family for all the headers that's different than the kind of default. Oh, that dog just scared me half to death. Okay. So yeah, it is the default font is Gil Sans, and then the header fonts is Cambria. And I've given them all different font size. Not crazy about the sizes, but we're just going to keep moving along. I gave them a bit of margin on the bottom, kind of filled back in some of the styles that I wanted. Yeah, so let's do, this is very important. So box sizing, border box. This is not in the Meyer Reset. I wish it was, but it allows for a lot easier layout. So just by default, this should be the first thing you put in your CSS file. All right, so, and then the other thing I want to do is for main and header. So I'll do them together. I'll say header, comma, main. Instead of them stretching all the way across, I'm going to give them a width of we'll say 80%. And then I want them to have an auto margin. So if I tell it to be auto margin, I don't have to say, make it 100 pixels from the left and 100 pixels from the right. I just say auto, just make it even, right and left. This is also doing top and bottom auto. If I want a bit of margin above, which I think I kind of do, I'll do 40 pixels. So this is going to be top, bottom, and this one's going to be left, right. Okay, let's look at that. So now, hooray, we've got this whole thing. So I might actually move the background color to the body so it's on everything, but we'll just keep it like this. Or let's see, I could do, I can do a little bit of padding. Okay, sure, we're moving on. Okay, so gallery is what we're gonna use for the Flexbox. So gallery is the parent. Let's look at it one more time. Section, gallery. This section is the parent. The divs are the kids. The image in the paragraph are grandkids. Flex is gonna it doesn't care that they're there. So I'm going to say display flex, and then Flexbox is going to do its best job to try to get them all in the same row. A bit weird. So let's fix this. So a couple things. First thing, we want to tell it that it can wrap. So we're going to say flex-wrap, and then we're going to say wrap. See what that buys us. Okay, pretty good. Another thing that you want to do when you're using Flexbox is you want to give, I know this sounds crazy, but you want to give those images a width of 100%. And I'm going to show you. So if I wanted to style each one of those cards, there's a couple ways. I could say, go to the gallery class and look for any divs inside of the gallery. And then give those a border 1 pixel solid red. Let's go look at that. Okay, so it looks like they're kind of sizing on their own, but sometimes what you'll see is the cats will be like outside of they'll just kind of go crazy. Maybe I'm going to try to make it happen so that you can see. So if I take this cat out and I put it here, so this is going to be a direct child. So this should be flowing the same as these other ones. Let's see what happens. Yeah, looks like it's flowing pretty good. I can't make the problem happen. So you'll just have to take my word for it. What if I make it like 3,000 by 3,000? Still not happening. Dang it. Well, let's just say you're in better shape if you tell all of the images, at least the ones that are inside gallery, kind of all the, like you just kind of want to have all the images in your site be 100% wide of whatever they're in. So width of 100%. And then you want to kind of size them. So they'll stretch to be in whatever you put them in. And then see how this gallery is not stretching all the way across. Let's see what's happening. If each one of those divs has is a flex of 1. Oh, cool. Now they're all trying to kind of be they're all trying to be together. So there's like, I'll show you kind of different stuff. So if card, let's just say 1, you can have multiple classes within each class tag. So 1 and 2, let's do that. So I'm going to say on default gallery div, they all have a flex of 1. For the one called 1, we'll give it a flex of 2, and I'll show you what's kind of happening. So it's trying to be twice as wide as the others, right? So let's say you want to have a 4-column grid. The way you do that is you can use percentages. Let me get rid of these. This one. So for gallery div, that's all of the cards. I'm going to give it a flex of 25%. And that should make it be now a 4-column grid. So that's kind of how you get it to break up. And the nice thing about Flexbox is that it tries to fill in the space if there's, it's got an uneven number in the last one. So it's trying to just stretch them out best it can. Yeah, so that is gallery. Let's do a quick text. All right, so above here, maybe I'll have like articles about kittens. So let's make a new section. And then since it's news, I'll just use articles for article for each thing. And maybe each article will have news title. Oh, I don't know. And then some paragraph with like lorem 10. Okay, so kind of boring article section. Just make it, I'll just do 2 columns. So, okay. So we're going to call this section class equals news. All right. In style, I'll just put it above gallery. I'm going to say news. I'm going to give it a display flex. That'll automatically split it into 2. Let's just get it away from, I'm going to say margin bottom 60 pixels, just to get it away from that gallery. There we go. Okay, so what if we want this column to be less than this column? We can, kind of the easiest thing is to say article. So there's the first one. I'm going to say class equals left. And then article class equals right. And okay, news. And you don't have to be this specific because there's no other class called left. I just like to because I'm telling to myself, this is in my news grid, So I can now make the left one be 40%. And I can make the right one be 60%. As long as they add up to 100, I should be good. And then there's a 40-60 split. So you can do percentages. You could also do this flex of 1 business. So I could say for my left one, make it a flex of 1 unit, 1 flex unit. And then this one could be a flex of 2. So this one will be twice the width of this one, making it 1/3 and basically 2/3. So that looks like that. I could do 1 and 3, and then it'll be 1/4 and 3/4. So it's whatever, whatever the 1 turns into, the 3 is like 3 times the 1. It does its own weird math. Please don't ask me to explain, but basically it just says, okay, this is 3 times the size of this, and this is how much space I have to do that in, and it just figures it out. And this is kind of flex. I want to point a few things out. One is that don't try to make a really complicated grid where the first row is 2 columns and the second row is 3. Just make different flex boxes and just stack them up on top of each other. It's just way easier than trying to do one cohesive grid. And if you try to do this percentage thing and it's not working and it's the line is splitting, you probably need this asterisk box sizing border box, because what's happening is your site is probably sizing by the content within instead of by the border box itself, and so it doesn't have enough space. It's trying to make there enough space for the content, but maybe there's padding around the content and that's not taken into account, so it doesn't have enough space to do 40 by 60% because there's extra stuff, so it's breaking the line. So just remember this guy. Whenever you're having weird layout stuff that you don't understand, this is probably what you're missing. And then again, the reset file, this Meyer reset, is kind of like getting rid of all that default style stuff that you get. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Hooray, 16 minutes. Okay, we will talk more in class. Thanks.